Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. It's been a great day so far. It's a lovely day out here in the southeast, and yeah, fun times for sure. So I'll go ahead and open up the show here real quick. Some programming notes for the end of this week and next week. Um, I will be doing either restreams or I will be doing short live streams just on YouTube. As we will be taking a vacation. We're going to go camping. We're going to take some time and unplug a wee bit. So, um, if I have, I may do the regular showtime with something that I think makes sense, some playlist or something like that. Otherwise, I may also do some very short videos just here and there, spotty, just kind of show around the campsites, whatever, stuff like that. So I just have some fun with it, right? So I don't know. Haven't decided if I want to do that yet or not because I may end up getting the kids in there and I don't want them online right now. So, and a lot of you know why. Mm. So it has been fun times for sure, to say the least. Today has been great. So I wanted to just kind of throw that out there for you guys. It's uh, gonna be a fun time, I hope. So we look forward to this trip. We do this ever so often, and it is a lot of fun for our family to go do this. So, uh, yeah, fun times for sure. So I need to adjust this one thingy mabobber over here. Nope. Well, it's not gonna move. Oh well. So yeah, if you like the content on the shows here, do me a favor, smash those likes. If you are watching live, pop into the live chat, say hey. If you're watching on another platform like Facebook or Twitter, just comment under the video or retweet it or share it. Get other people to take a look at it if you don't mind. It helps to grow the channel when I have other people in here as well. So it's also fun when you know the people you're talking to. So in the live chat, I know I have met, I think, everyone that's in it right now. I think I've met everyone in there. And if I haven't, I look forward to meeting you in the future. As we do different events, I will attend different events, especially with the crypto confidential stuff. And I've been to Bitcoin Ben's events in the past, and there are other events that I want to attend that I will let you all know when it is going to be there. It's linked in the description of the channel, thepapajoshow.com. You can see upcoming events that I plan to be attending or be a part of in some regard, either as an attendee or just be present in and around the people that are there. Or a speaker. Sometimes, like I've spoken at Bitcoin Ben's events and had fun with that. Those of you who were there last time, I talked about Polygon and some other stuff around being safe and secure and stuff like that. So, but anyways, yeah, if you're watching live, come in and say hey. It's a good group of people here. We really have a fun time and we talk about a lot of different cool stuff. If you guys, a lot of you all, guys and gals, you're part of my Patreon. I really do appreciate that. I've said it $5 a month. It really does help me out with getting some of this stuff going because running this stuff isn't all free, if you will. But at the same time, I wish I didn't have to put a stupid thing in there because our First Amendment rights under attack, and this allows me to have a platform or a space for me to come in and talk about the truth of things happening. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Ended up having to deviate from plans, and I did restream one. I wanted to cover some stuff that happened. I kind of covered a little bit in my other show around what's happening in the world. And for those of you who understand where I'm coming from with this stuff, it's a little bit of a different perspective. And then the reason that perspective is there is because I've spent the better part of 7 years, I guess. Solid for 4 years, but definitely the better part of 7 years. Actually, I had to think about it last night. I was like, wait a minute. I was talking to someone. I was like, I spent 4 years looking into this, following the money. And then I thought after the call, I was like, wait a minute. It's been off and on for more than that. So anyways, I digress. It's been a long time for me to dig into this stuff and know what's going on and see this stuff. And I don't know 100%, but whenever I'm looking at stuff, I'm eating the chicken and leaving the bone. And then when stuff happens and things take place, I'm like, I read that somewhere, you know, or I saw that was coming in the pipe somewhere, something like that. But anyways, I digress. Let's run through the chat here and see who we got in here today. We've got Tom. Good morning, brother. How are you? Bitcoin Management. Jim, how are you, my friend? Good to see you this morning. Let's see here. Got Bitcoin Bull. Good morning. How are you? What's with the Vegas line and surprise Russian invasion in Ukraine for January 6th tomorrow, 16th tomorrow? I have no idea, man. I know that there's a convoy that's going to start, I think, in Vegas or California or something, and they're going to go across the entire country. And they're going to go to DC. The problem is when they get to DC, they're going to find out that there's nobody there. If you follow along with Richard Citizen Journalist, I share some of his stuff in the Telegram channel. That there's no one there. Something's going on. Maybe we can cover that in the Patreon this afternoon, to kind of explain what's maybe happening. And I'll try to find, if I have time, I'll try to find videos of his stuff or other people's stuff that's been shared, and just kind of go through and show you guys, nothing's there, nothing's happening. Anyways, who else we got here? Good morning, Lithia. Good morning. How are you? Let's see who else is here. Blah 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 blah. Da, 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 da. Look at you, Bitcoin Bull. That's awesome. Really got to get on that Patreon PAPAJO full-time job, grandpa stuff, and getting a biz off the ground. I'll figure it out. Yep. We old guys just we're not too far apart, believe it or not, man. I love it. That's great. No worries, no rush, brother. Daddy-o, what's up? Good morning. How are you? Trinity Man, what's going on, brother? I got that thing you sent me, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Love it, man. I love it. Let's see here. Francis K, what's going on? How are you? Good morning. Kim, good morning. How are you? Good afternoon. Good to see you. How are you? Let's see who else we got in here. Gloria, how are you? Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Twigs, what's up? How are you? That is very. Oh yeah. We did meet in January. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you being here. I love it. This is your first time here? Fantastic. Well, hopefully you'll enjoy it and come back for more. Anyways, it has been a great day so far. Temperatures are starting to kind of. I love being outside. If y'all haven't noticed, that's why we're kind of going camping and stuff. So, not too far future, like starting this weekend on through next kind of thing. So, anyways, I am going to jump in here. I found another app. Well, I've always had this other application that I used, but I've used it to kind of follow market trends, market news, things like that. But they have charting and things like that I like to follow, and you can pull a bunch of different stuff in there. So we're going to take a look at the markets this morning real quick to start off with, and then we'll go from there. And of course, you guys can't see that daggum thing. Hang on. If I bought wrong window. This is the fun about doing this live. You got to see me make all these mistakes. And that's okay. I don't mind. I'm a real person. Put it that way. Anyways, so these are some stuff that I kind of just keep an eye on as far as the markets are concerned. You got Coinbase in there. You got the CMC, the different cryptos. You got Bitcoin Cash. You got Bitcoin, things like that. It's gone up for more than $1,400, more than 3%. I'll call it that. The really thing I love about this platform is that over the past 5 years, it's been up 4,200%. The last 3 years, it's been up more than 1,100%. It's really, really cool to see and pay attention to these, like Ethereum, it's up there. So like Ethereum to USD, what is this? The past 5 years, it's been up 23,000%. These are just really cool indicators that you get to see just a quick at a glance. There are other fields I can add here, like I think a 10-year I can put in there, or year to date, or top, whatever that's up there. So yeah, like I have at one point I had built this to short all these, things like that. So that's Apple and Meta and Alphabet and all those things, all those fun ones. But yeah, Overall, I do not have the Dow in here, but the really, really cool thing about this platform is that it has all of them in here, right? So it actually takes and looks at the indices. So here's the NASDAQ 100. They call it their Baja because whatever, it's the NASDAQ. I don't know why they do that. Anyways, very fun stuff. You get natural gas, all that fun stuff. It's really, really cool. I love this little platform. I forgot all about it, and I accidentally opened the app just a minute ago. You can look at bonds in here too. A lot of people don't pay attention to the bonds, which is very, very unique. The Dow Jones is up a little bit. NASDAQ's up a little bit. The euro versus dollars, et cetera, et cetera. You can see the different bonds, stuff like that. So fun times for sure. The other thing I really wanted to pull up, and I forgot to before we got started here, is the overall charts here for everybody. Let's reset that. And then let's pull this up. Okay, that's already reset. So, yeah, we're up above 44,000, or we were until the start of the show. Yeah. It's very, very interesting to me. We have an update on the market. You have an update in crypto. It's because the traders who trade these markets trade crypto now too. Okay. They're trading regular crypto markets like they're trading the stock market. And that's what they're doing. That's because that's what that's what they've always done. That's how they're doing it. You know, Ethereum, that's a nice gentle climb. That's great. But the really interesting thing is you get the spike. When did that start this morning? What's today? Today is, if I can get the stupid thing to move, today is the 15th. So that started today, right? There's a big, huge spike in, right? Huge spike in. So it's interesting because that's Bitcoin. That's Ethereum. Looks a little tied together, don't you think? Let's see. Let's look at Divi. Divi's real stable. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Really, really good. Anyhow, that's kind of where things are. Let's look at gold real quick. Gold is down. Where's silver? Silver. Where is my silver? And silver's down. They look very, very tied together. Anyways, so all this fun happening, right? All this fun taking place. Well, guess what? Those of you who hadn't been paying attention for this weekend, I kind of wanted to talk about something that took place this weekend. Good old, what do we nickname Pelosi? I forget what we nicknamed Pelosi. I don't remember. I know we nicknamed Flashbang, and we've I don't remember the other ones. I come up with them on the fly sometimes. Although Flashbang, I didn't come up with them on the fly. Flashbang is not mine. Flashbang was Monkey Works. And that's a great nickname, man. That would be a great nickname. Anyways, it's been a fun, interesting thing. But Pelosi, it's not right for Manchin, whatever, to say what we're doing is contributing to inflation and what we're doing is working on spending more money. If she's sitting here going, spending more money isn't causing inflation, no. Actually, I couldn't find the actual wording that she used. This is probably it here, but I don't have it set up to pull the sound in, which I do apologize for this. But basically, she comes out and is whining and complaining because she's being attacked and other Democrats are being attacked by this guy, Manchin, stating that he's not going to let the Build Back Better plan go in. He's not going to let anything else happen as far as spending is concerned. Because it's causing more problems with inflation. And he's not wrong, and she is. So she's complaining, blah, blah, blah. It's not right for Senator Joe Manchin to say that Democrats' policy initiatives are contributing to inflation. With all respect in the world to my friend Joe Manchin, it's not right to say that we're doing what we're doing is contributing to inflation because it is exactly the opposite. Pelosi told George Stephanopoulos, whatever his name is, on ABC this week. Very, very, very interesting. She also said that inflation is being caused by more and more people going back to work because they're working more, and then they're spending the money, and it's causing inflation. How in the world did we allow this kind of stupidity to be at the helm of this country? Did we get that complacent? Did we get that glued to our TVs? Did that glued to the news cycles that they continue to pump in, just like they pump in the poisons in our foods? Here in the US, the media is nothing but lies. And that is what the main most people watch. And still some people do. The mainstream media is what people still watch and pay attention to. I haven't had TV service in my house ever. From the day I moved out, I never had TV. When I was a young kid, I never, ever, ever brought cable, satellite, nothing into my house. Nothing. I will pull up videos. We did all this streaming stuff like that. Yeah, but not watching no news cycle. I haven't watched a news cycle in years. A long time. And every time I walk in somewhere and it's on, it drives me crazy. Like it bothers me. Like mentally, it just drives me nuts. Like the noise is something about it. It's like there's a frequency going on with it. Just drives me crazy. And I guarantee you, if you guys would turn that off and remove it from your houses and remove it from your line of sight, just get rid of it. There's no other reason to have cable TV or any satellite or anything kind of TV. There's no reason to, in my opinion, at least. I digress. The reason I bring that up is because this country, has been stuck in that media, that news cycle, right? They turn on the news and then they watch it, then they hear all the crazy stuff happening and it stresses them out, and then they just somehow just sucks them back in and glues them in, blah, 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 blah. Turn it off. Get rid of it. Get it out of your house. Reason being is because that is part of the reason people like this nut job and the current administration and other people who have been in there have been put in place. They have been put into place. We can talk about how on my Patreon. That's the type of stuff that I'll get into in much more detail on my Patreon. And I have. You go back and look at the videos. That's what we talk about. Is some of this stuff is very in-depth, and who's doing what, who's pulling the strings, like, I don't know, the banks and the people behind the scenes of the banking systems. By the way, shout out to my beautiful, amazing wife who is watching and listening. I do really appreciate the coffee. It was very, very kind of you to do that. Did not have time and went from one meeting to another meeting and then right into this. I barely had time to even prepare for the show. So she put some coffee together for me together very much so. It was great. Anyways, yeah. So let's see here. There was one other thing I was gonna. Oh yeah, she also pointed out that to a bill that the House passed last week that seeks to strengthen domestic supply chains and scientific research to make the U.S. more competitive amongst countries like China. Really? Pelosi said that the passing of the bill, dubbed the Competes Act, I guess that was very interesting, was a giant step forward because it addresses supply chain shortages that have and therefore will decrease inflation. What? Inflation is not caused by supply chain problems. Inflation is caused by you guys printing too much money and putting it into circulation. That's the problem. Twigs, perfect. PAPAJO, I haven't paid for TV or cable in over 30 years. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. And this is what she does with it. I guess yeah, that's right. To use it to buy more Bitcoin. Fantastic use of that money. I approve. PAPAJO approves. Anyways. Yeah. I'm going to ask it again. How did this nincompoop, this moron, continue to be at the helm? I titled the show, Are We There Yet? Because I literally feel like I'm watching a movie now. Granted, I have seen the script, and granted, it's playing out in interesting, unique ways and didn't think about, or I didn't get the script, the different pieces in it. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't. But just the same, Are we there yet? Come on. Holy cow. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. Kedlow. This is the root cause of inflation. Ending inflation is not hard. And I need to mute that guy. It's common sense. It's not wrong. However, it's not easy. Because if you kill or remove inflation, the economy will crash because the inflation is what's propped it up, and people don't realize that. I talked about this. Was it on my Patreon? Maybe, whatever it was. Do you guys know that the Federal Reserve's been buying mortgage-backed securities every single month to the tune of 120 billion with a B? 120 billion dollars a month since probably I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they didn't stop since 2008, back in 2008. However, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and since the end of 2019, 2020, somewhere in that ballpark. $120 billion a month. Mortgage-backed securities. They're propping up the bedrock of the economy, which is the mortgage, which is the housing. And whether you like it or not, that is the case. It is. Okay. Now, realistically, people, okay, rewind here. Y'all know that I've talked about this, and I've shown you guys that they're going to be stopping their buying or their treasury bonds, whatever, everything they're doing. Basically, they're telling you we've been propping the stock market up, we've been propping the bond market up, we've been propping the housing market up, we've been propping the entire everything economy up, and then by mid-March they're going to stop. And supposedly we're going to have there's people calling for a whole basis point, a whole 100 basis point, or instead of a quarter basis point, a whole basis point increase in the interest rate, which is their sponge mechanism to suck the money out of the economy. And that's nowhere near enough, people. That is nowhere near enough at all. But to put it into perspective, when they stop propping the economy up, what's it going to do? Retail traders aren't trading really right now. I have friends who play with it, but they're not trading. They're not really going at this. It's all bots. It's all algorithms. So when the buying stops, the Fed stops, which is also pumping money into the economy, what happens? Yeah, it's going to collapse the economy, which will make things more affordable for us. But at the end of the day, it's going to get really messy. Now, I trying to decide. Let's talk about that. I'll go into a little more detail on this in the Patreon, I think. If I can find the proper material for it, I'll go into more detail for it. So, save America, kill inflation. You know why? Okay, I am gonna talk about this in the Patreon show. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. My wife and I were having a discussion about some things. I've had a couple of friends bring up some things around the former administration and the inflation. We'll talk about that in the Patreon. If I bring that up out here, the video will most likely get removed. I'm going to write a note down, and unless anything crazy happens, I'll talk about that in the Patreon this afternoon. So let me write that down if you guys don't mind. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So why do they need to save it? 7.5% inflation. Inflation tax is I love it because 7.5% inflation tax is destroying working folks. I love this wording. Inflation tax. You know why? Inflation is a hidden tax because it removes your ability to buy things. It is destroying the middle class. People who just do their jobs, want to live a life, they're not getting ahead. They can't. It's designed to keep you in it's like a hamster running in a stupid hamster wheel. It's designed to keep you running. It's designed to keep that wheel turning. That's all it's for. There in that get ahead carrot that's dangling in front of you. Yeah, it's gonna be there. It's gonna always be there. You have to stop thinking inside their system. You have to get out of their system, which is why crypto is such a big deal. Which is why things like Polygon and Divi, and Axie Infinity and some of these other coins that you could actually park a wad of cash in, so to speak. One, you get it out of the system, and two, you make a residual income on it. It's like buying real estate. It protects your ability. It helps you start down that path to get ahead. People don't even know about it yet. We know here. I'm talking about it. We talk about it on my show. I went into great detail on one of my Patreon videos that goes into how to actually start doing residual income with cryptos. Just to start. Just like I say on my show here, this isn't financial advice, tax advice, or legal advice. Do your research. Hopefully this is the start of that. Understand. That's why I do that Patreon. Okay? It's not a lot. It really isn't. If you think it makes sense, join it. If you don't, doesn't make sense, okay, no hard feelings. No problem. But I can't go into that kind of detail here on these types of shows because they'll get removed. And then if I do it there, those who are part of that, they actually have access to those videos. If they ever got removed, all I got to do is put it back. It's not that hard. Anyhow, yeah, 7.5%. It's not hard. It's just common sense. Those three factors, too much spending, these three factors, too many incentives not to work and produce, and too much money creation. That is what causes inflation. The latter point on the Fed is probably the biggest factor of all. Let's actually see. Let's go up here and read this here. I didn't realize I skipped this. Anyways, 7.5% inflation tax is destroying working folks' pocketbooks and devaluing the wages they earn. At the root cause of the inflation is way too much government spending. And this person wants to spend more? I wonder why. She's sitting there complaining again. How did someone so stupid? It makes my blood boil. Anyways, is way too much government spending, too many social programs without workfare, and vastly too much money creation in the Federal Reserve. It's funny. I quote, the fact that people have jobs, this is where it was, this is where I saw it. I quote, okay, here we go. I'm bouncing around, sorry. The latter point, now we have an interesting inflation analysis this weekend from Nancy Pelosi herself. On one of the Sunday shows, she said skyrocketing inflation is due to more people entering the workforce. Really? And I quote, the fact that people have jobs always contributes to an increase in inflation, and that's a good thing, Pelosi said, but inflation is not good. We have to contain it. Quit spending money, you moron. Quit spending money. Quit coming up with these build back better. We're going to do all this other crap. We're going to spend this and spend this and spend this. What's the national debt? Get the website right. Nope. Let's go to. There we go. The right one. Not national. It's U.S. Bump, 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 bump. So U.S. national debt is now more than $30 trillion. I don't think anyone has an actual understanding of how much that is. I have no idea. $30 trillion. That's a lot. That's a lot. Guys and gals, and they want to spend more. You want to know why there's an inflation problem? That's why they've spent too much money. Anyways, let's have some more fun here. Warren Buffett invests $1 billion in Bitcoin-friendly neobank. Dumps Visa and MasterCard stocks. Huh. You think you know something? The Oracle of Omaha now has more companies in a portfolio that are direct or indirect exposure to Bitcoin with similar cryptocurrencies. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, dumped a portion of his Visa and MasterCard holdings and increased exposure to Nubank, the largest fintech bank in Brazil. Pay attention to Brazil, people. Watch them do what El Salvador did, and then watch what happens with crypto. That is also popular among the country's Bitcoin investors. A securities filing on late February 14th, the industrial conglomerate disclosed that it had purchased $1 billion worth of Nubank Class A stock in Q4 2021. On the other hand, it sold $1.8 billion and $1.3 billion worth of Visa and MasterCard stock, respectively, signaling a shift away from credit companies to gain exposure to their fintech rivals. You think he knows something? Nobody really knows. The way he trades is different. It's interesting. I think you need to pay attention to some of these people are starting to wake up to the fact that it's about to change. Wait till they started buying directly into crypto. With 21 million Bitcoin, we have a lot more millionaires out there. If every one of them just wanted one, they can't have it. So what happens when that happens? Talk about a price increase like you've never seen on anything ever. Fun times. And another little tidbit here. You guys, I don't watch sports. I don't. I would rather be playing a sport or doing a sport or doing like golf, swimming, not playing tackle football with no pads, things like that, right? Doing it, not watching it. And if I'm not mistaken, this is how bad I don't pay attention to this. If I'm not mistaken, the Super Bowl was played at SoFi Stadium. Was it not? I think it was. Anyone in the chat, let me know for sure. That'd be great. But very interesting. We've got Crypto.com Arena. We've got SoFi Stadium. You've got Divi partnering with La Liga. Yeah. This is getting interesting. The sponsors of yesterday are no longer even making it out of the bids to get into these things. Oh, this is really good. Jeff, thank you for bringing that out. PAPAJO, 1 billion seconds ago was 32 years ago. 1 trillion seconds ago is 31,688 years ago. That is a really good way to put that. There you go. We have $31 trillion in debt. You guys know who we're indebted to, right? Yeah, the banks and their families. Anyways, we'll talk about that stuff on the Patreon. That's a Patreon discussion. Be very careful here. Bitcoin bull. I'm not putting that on. That's just this. Oh, that mental image. I will never ever get that out of my mind. What? Okay, I'm not putting that up on the screen. Oh, good grief! The live chat, people. If you're not watching live, watch. Yeah, anyways. SoFi CEO Anthony Noto, I guess that's how you say his name, said he and his family own some cryptocurrencies. We own Bitcoin, we own Ethereum, we own some of the more obscure different cryptocurrencies. Noto told him CNBC. He also warned companies that don't recognize the benefits of blockchain may get left behind. And I have been screaming that. Don't be sorry. Oh, Bitcoin bull, don't be sorry. That was funny, but oh, the mental image. Anyways, let's see here. SoFi Technology CEO Anthony Noto. Sorry, dude. I'm really bad at sometimes pronouncing people's names. Talk about the inherent risk of holding cryptocurrencies before revealing his family holds some digital currency. We're invested in cryptocurrencies. Noto told CBC, we own Bitcoin, we own Ethereum, we own some more of the obscure cryptocurrencies. I already read this because it was part of the highlights. Sorry, didn't realize I was reading the highlights before. Very small part of what we own. Very interesting. The statement came in CBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin, whatever, asked the executive outside SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where the Super Bowl was held, on what he thought about the game, the big game, which many described as a crypto bowl due to major crypto companies from Coinbase to FTX pouring millions of dollars into claim advertising spots, and they did. Coinbase did, FTX did. There were a lot of other ones I hear. Again, I didn't watch it. I'll go watch the commercials for those in the crypto ones later. When you buy cryptocurrency on SoFi, every time we give you a warning, it's an unproven asset, highly volatile. That's the truth, he told CNBC. But it's an incredible technology platform. It's an opportunity to invest in something that's high risk. See, the thing is I think investing in companies in the current economic system are high risk. He and I are exact opposites in this. The reason I think that, honestly, is because they're in an old dying system. And I'm in the net new thriving system that is making everything antiquated, making their world antiquated. It is. It's fantastic. It's going to be very, very intriguing to see this stuff as we grow into this space. What's happening? The adoption's here, people. Are we there yet? Almost. I think by June, July this year, this is just I think June, July this year, we may see a very big shift in very interesting ways. Probably wrong, but I don't see how this can sustain any longer. It can't. It will literally crumble under. It's crumbling under its own weight now, and they're trying to crash land the plane. There's nothing they can do about it. It's coming down. There's nothing they can do. Anyways, I got another meeting I'm late for. I'm also hungry. I'm gonna go eat some food. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the 4:30 Patreon show. If you're not subscribed, it's linked to the bottom. It's linked in the description of the channel. Excuse me, in the video. The link in the description of the video. And it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Also, if you want to help the channel out, subscribe to the Crypto Confidential. That is a newsletter that is designed with some information in it that is not really easy to get a hold of by some people who have been doing and living that life for a long time. Anyways, you guys all have a wonderful and blessed day. We'll talk to you soon.